Welcome back to another virtual lesson with Miss Kerr. Today we're going to read a story called Jane Goodall and the Chimpanzees. But first, we have to read our language objective and our content objective. So read our content objective with me. I will listen to a story read aloud to develop comprehension. Now read our language objective with me. I will write and draw about an event in the text. Good. As I read the story, I want you to think, what are some ways that Jen studies the chimpanzees? Because after I read the story, you're going to go on our Schoology page and answer the question. So make sure we're paying attention and we're listening. Jane Goodall and the Chimpanzees by Betsy Chesson and Pamela Chenko. Jane Goodall and the Chimpanzees by Betsy Chesson and Pamela Chenko. How does Jan study chimpanzees? She asks questions about them and watches closely. She gathers information and watches closely. She records information and watches closely. She communicates and watches closely. She asks more questions and watches closely. Jan watches closely because she cares. And now that we have read the story, we're ready to get into our writing prompt. What is one thing you learned about Dr. Jane Goodall? Remember, before we read it, I asked, how does Jan learn about the chimpanzees? What does she do? And you should have told somebody near you what she does for the chimpanzees. So now that we've read the story, we should know what Jan does to learn about the chimpanzees. So now we're going to write and draw to represent what we read. So I'm going to read to you our writing prompt. What is one thing you learned about Dr. Jan Goodall? And then we're going to start our sentence with Dr. Jan, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to write Dr. Jan cares for the chimpanzees. And then I'm going to draw that in my box. So remember, we use spaces in between our words, and all sentences start with a capital letter. And the D and the J is capital because the D is an abbreviation for doctor. That's her title. Kind of like I'm Miss Kerr. When you write my name, you'll write a capital M and you will put a capital K for Kerr. And then her name is Jan. So I said Dr. Jan space cares space for space then we're going to write chimpanzees, but we have to sound that word out. Ch. Remember we learned about our CH sounds? That sounds like CH. 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 chip, chim, chim, chimpan, eh, eh, eh. Z, chimpanzee, Z, E. Then it makes a double E. Dr. Jen cares for the chimpanzees. Then period, because all of our sentences end in a period. And then we're going to draw that. I drew Dr. Jan and the chimpanzee with the heart in the middle because she loves the chimpanzee. And when you love something, you care for it. So that's how my sentence matches my drawing. Dr. Jan cares for the chimpanzees. So now I want you to post your sentence and your drawing on our Schoology page. Bye. See you in our next lesson.